And I do love books. Can't help it.
Hi everybody, I'm Josh.
I'm Heather, and we're from Try Hard Enthusiast. This is going to be pickup video number 2. So this is pretty much everything since the last pickup video. So it's a combination of mostly eBay buys from this one.
A lot of eBay buys. Pre-orders, stuff from our local game store.
Yeah, before
everything shut down.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and just kind of get started and get into this.
Alright, so first we're going to start off with some Super Nintendo games. These are all eBay buys. First up is Secret of Mana, complete in box. It's not the best condition box, but I'm not big on conditions, so. And probably my biggest eBay buy of the time period is Final Fantasy III, complete in box, which also came with the player's guide.
Which that in itself is
hard to find.
Very hard to find. Typically the cheapest that it runs solo, I mean, you really can't find on eBay, but on Amazon there's a couple of listings for about 100, 125-ish.
And this has the map and the poster, right? Or is that one has the poster? Anyway, they're completely complete.
Yeah.
You want to do one?
Sure. So the main complete in box Super Nintendo game that I got is a little uncommon game called Robotech. Ah, thank you.
There we go.
So this game came out around the same time as Final Fantasy III, and in Japan, and I believe PAL, I can't remember if PAL got it or not, but in Japan it's actually called Slapstick, and that's why a lot of people don't really know anything about it. So there wasn't any marketing for it at all, and when you're competing with something like Final Fantasy III, but it's another RPG game, kind of Pokemon-esque with the
you build robots and use them to attack things.
Yep.
It's kind of cool.
Have your little minions.
So these next 3 I got as a lot from a very nice guy in Vermont who we bought quite a few things from.
Yes.
Packages things amazingly, unlike the person who sent me Secret of Mana, but it's a whole nother thing. First up is probably the biggest of this set. It's Castlevania 4, complete in box for the Super Nintendo. And then we got Super Street Fighter 2, complete in box. And finally, Donkey Kong Country, complete in box.
And the funny thing is, like, the way this guy does his descriptions, I don't want to say he's nitpicky, but he's very detail oriented. And like one of the things he made sure to note for like the Super Castlevania was that it had writing on the back page of the manual.
Yeah, it had writing in the manual, which was just where people filled in their level codes for when they were playing through the game. Mm-hmm. Which I'm completely fine with. I think it's kind of cool. I kind of want to punch them in and see what they did.
And then the last Super Nintendo game,
hold it up.
Sure, is Ys 3, Wanderers from Ys. That one's just one. I mean, we have a couple of these games trying to get the collection going. Unfortunately, 1 and 2 is pretty much TurboGrafx CD games, and that's one system we don't have yet, so
yes.
I'm working on it.
I guess you want to do it?
Sure. And then last, so I know a lot of people on Instagram have seen this before. This is our complete in-box copy of Chrono Trigger. But what's special about this is the acrylic case that it's in. And I actually bought it off of a shop on Etsy for about 16 bucks. And this protects the game, and it actually displays it very nicely. And it's kind of cool because the bottom just slides out and you drop it in and fits like a glove.
Yep. It's a nice way of displaying your games and protecting them at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
So
next is a Super Nintendo game, or Super Nintendo. Oh boy, N64. And I only have one complete. There's a significant difference, but you know how my brain works.
Yep.
The only complete in box N64 game that we got was Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer. I absolutely love this game, and I know I talked about it in the last video with Revenge for the PS2, but this was super cheap, and I just had to have a complete box copy of it.
Next up, we have Super Smash Brothers for 64. Just cartridge only.
Yeah. Somehow we didn't have that. I don't get it, but we didn't.
And we also got Pokemon Stadium 2.
And then the last one, it's another Enix, pretty sure it's Enix that published this, but it is Mischief Makers. Alright, so next up we have a variety of handheld games for the Nintendo systems. First one is a complete in-box copy of Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages. This game goes alongside Oracle of Seasons, and believe it or not, when they were first working on publishing and making these games, this was supposed to be part of a trilogy, kind of like the Pokemon games where you have Gold, Silver, and then you have Crystal to kind of link them all together. There was supposed to be a third one to link the two games together, but it never came to be. And then next is complete in box Shin Megami Tensei 4. This is for the 3DS, and the limited edition copy, it comes with the soundtrack, and it also comes with the strategy guide art book, which this is the only way to get a strategy guide for this game. And I mean, I like books. You'll see soon. I definitely like books, so I had to get that copy of it.
Next up, we have Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3 in a nice little protector case. And you want to do this one?
Sure. The next.
It's like your favorite game ever.
Oh no, Wario Land is. But this is easily a good second. Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. I actually ended up getting both of these games in a lot. It was the manual for 6 golden coins and both of the games. We actually had already had the Wario Land manual from a previous lot when we gotten all those Game Boy games and the two Game Boys back a while ago. But since I don't have the cardboard boxes for them, I got these repro cases that are just like the DS style ones. But the cool thing is, I don't know if you'll really be able to see, but they have clips in them, and it's actually molded to fit the Game Boy games. So they're not going to be sloshing around. It's actually just a very nicely presented case. And they're not that expensive. I think it was like maybe $6 or $7 a case with the artwork.
And they fit nicely on a shelf.
Yes.
You can do those. I did last two.
Okay. Next, to go along with SMT 4 is Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. So this, it follows off of 3, but it's just an alternate timeline. I can't remember if it's like the neutral timeline or what ending you have to do to get to this game, but yeah, both of these two are very hard to come by now, and the sad part is this game here, Apocalypse, they were clearancing it out, I'd say like 2 years ago from Target for $5. I'm kind of mad we didn't get it then because I paid way over $5 for that game. And then one that just came in the other day is The World Ends With You. I have the Switch copy of it, and it was originally developed for the DS, so I wanted to get the original copy of it to see how the mechanics with the two players works out.
These next two games are also for the Nintendo DS. We have The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass and The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. Can't talk.
Yeah, and those are both complete in box with manuals. And then last, one of the handhelds that we actually did not have somehow is the Game Boy Advance, like the original one. This is the Glacier color. And the seller on eBay that I bought this from actually already refurbished the screen, so it's got a new screen on it. And with that, I also bought Wario Land 4 for the Game Boy Advance from them.
Okay.
Oh, fun ones, fun ones.
Yes. Alright. So next up is a game that I had as a child, and then my brother sold it because he did that a lot. But it took me forever to find this game again for a good decent price, and it's Einhander from Square Enix. Really, really fun shoot 'em up.
But so you said before that it's got a mechanic where you shoot the other robots and then you gain parts off them, right? Or
Yeah, you have this little arm on the bottom you can pick up guns with.
next,
It's kind of fun.
it's a game that we already had, but okay, so we bought it. Didn't realize that when we bought it, they'd resurfaced it, and I guess something went wrong with the resurfacing machine, and it left scratches on the top of the discs on both 1 and 2, so they did not play. Tried piecing it together, became a pain in the ass, so I just bought a new copy of Xenogears, complete in box with the manual and no top scratches. So it's just nice to actually have a clean looking copy of that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then the oddball disc game that we have is Virtual On Cyber Troopers. I can't ever say the Oratorio Tanagram
I'm
or
not going to
Tangram.
try that.
Honestly, I didn't know this one existed for the longest time, and then I'd see it from time to time on Instagram. I grew up with the Sega Saturn and the arcade version of this, so it's just awesome to know that it existed on more than just those consoles. And then last, this also came from the seller in Vermont that we were talking about, but it is a complete copy of Koudelka. And this goes along with the Shadow Heart series, so now we have technically all 4 games in that series. Let's see, what do you want to do next?
Let's grab these Switch
Does it have a giant dust bunny with me?
Switch and other PlayStation games.
Okay. So this first one is actually supposed to be part of the last video, but I don't remember why it got missed. I think it was because the footage got deleted.
Yeah.
But it's Ghost Parade for the Switch. It is still sealed. It is just really cool side-scrolling, I don't want to say Souls-like, but kind of Souls-like-esque RPG.
So next up is a limited run game. I don't know much about this game. We watched a video of it on YouTube before we bought it, and it was hilarious. But it's called Mario Chronicles H.
So you can have fun trying to say that.
Yes. It's a very, very weird Japanese game.
Yeah.
But it looks absolutely hilarious. It's a dungeon crawler.
It's a fan service game, pretty much.
Yeah. So next up, I bought this just really to see what it looks like, because why not? It's The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt on Switch, complete. I have this game on Xbox, PlayStation. Figured why not get it for Switch, see what it looks like. Which, it really doesn't look that bad. It's pretty impressive how they ported that over.
Yeah, it's still is a little potato-y, though.
Still a little potato mode, but it's not bad.
Next we have 3 PS3 games. First one is Quantum Theory. I really don't know much about this game. It just, the cover art pulled me in, looked interesting. These 3 games actually all came from Estarland. It's like the only Estarland pickup that we did during this time period. Next is PS3 version of Bionic Commando. Apparently I wanted to get this game so badly that I inadvertently ordered 2 copies of it. So, it was kind of nice because then I was able to mash together both of them and get the better looking copy, but it just looks once again, like another interesting game. And lastly is Never Dead, which is a very interesting Konami game, needless to say. The one video I watched, like actually going over gameplay, the guy grabs onto a circuit box. I had to think of words there. A circuit box, electrocutes himself, blows himself up, and then rolls around with his head and his arms attached to his head. And it's actually part of the game mechanics to do that kind of stuff. So
You almost said something.
I did. I'm trying to be good.
Yep. Next up, we have a From Software game. It's Forever Kingdom.
That was a pain in the ass to get a hold of. Yes, I just said mean word.
Yep.
But I ended up ordering 2 copies of that. I got the case copy, and then I ordered a disc-only copy because the first copy had cracks all in the center ring of the disc. When I got the second one, it also had cracks in the center ring of the disc. I don't know what it is with this game and not holding up, I guess. I don't know.
I think it's the resurfacers.
But I picked the better of 2 evils, put it together. But it's a harder to come by PS2 game, and it's actually the prequel to Evergrace, if I remember right.
And next up, we have Drakengard 2, which it's a weird series, to say the least, but fun.
Let's see. That one's canon, but it's not canon, but it is canon.
That one follows, depends on the ending you get from the first one. It either goes to that or it goes in Nier.
Yes, because the Drakengard and the Nier games are all part of the same universe and play off of each other depending on which of the 10,000 different endings you end up choosing between the games. So.
Yep. Alright, let's grab
Fun stack? Ooh, the fun stack.
the fun stack. Oh, your fun stack.
Gotta restack the games.
Gotta put them in order.
They were technically in order.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, so I'll go ahead and get this one out of the game. It's the only out of the way. It is really the only 360 like non-collector's edition game that we have, and it's a Japanese game. It is Zoids Infinity EX Neo. Ever since the 360 came out, I worked at GameStop around that time, and I found out that this was a thing, but of course it's not backwards compatible. It's region locked. So I had to get just a physical copy of this game. And this one is still sealed, still has the steel sticker on it. I'm waiting on a Japanese 360 to come in so that I can actually play it. So. And I'll go ahead and do another one. This one we've already had it before. It was the Game Boy player, but we didn't have a good case to store it in because we don't have the original case. So I got a repro case off of Etsy again. I'm pretty sure it was from the same seller as the Game Boy games, but it looks like it's in the style of the PAL GameCube cases. So it's just nice to actually have that game secure.
Next up, we have a trilogy for the GameCube, which is Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 1, 2, and 3. I don't know anything about these games.
It's pretty much just another collect-a-thon game.
More or less.
With the Australian character.
With boomerangs.
With boomerangs. Very interesting boomerangs because he can fly. He can use them to grab onto things like ice picks. It's actually kind of cool. Next, I think this is the only Wii game, Wario Land Shake It. I went on a Wario Land, Wario World kick and was just pretty much buying any Wario Land game that we did not have, and that is complete in box.
Next up for the GameCube, we have The Legend of Zelda Four Swords Adventure.
And that's the one that you can hook your Game Boy Advance with the link cable up to the GameCube to use as a controller. Next, have Bait and Kados. It's an interesting RPG from what I've seen. It's got a card battle style battle gameplay. I don't know how to describe it. You use cards for attacks, and I've never been big into these kinds of games, but I keep hearing that's really good. The artwork's really good, so.
Next up, we have Star Fox Assault.
Can I just say that I'm annoyed that I haven't taken the stickers off that yet?
Yeah, I'm surprised. They usually don't last very long.
Trying to remember. Okay, so this is in the same style as the original Star Fox 64. Because you have Star Fox Adventure, then that, and then Star Fox Zero on the Wii U, which was the one that everybody completely hates. Next, like I said, Wario Kick. So this is Wario World for the GameCube. It's a free roaming Wario game. Oh, I've left the congas over there!
Next up, we have Donkey Konga.
I like rhythm games.
This is a game I will not be playing.
No, I'm gonna make you play it. You're gonna play it at least once.
No, I don't do rhythm games. Except for Beat Saber, but that's a whole different thing.
But you make them jump by clapping your hands and...
No.
Or no, maybe that's Jungle Beat. I don't know. Either way, I'm so excited. You can go ahead.
Okay. Oh, of course. And next up for GameCube is Pokemon Colosseum.
Another...
It's Pokemon.
Yeah. Just an actual RPG style, has a storyline more than just, hey, you're a 10-year-old kid. Go catch Pokemon. Don't forget to change your underwear. I hope you got that.
Yes.
Okay. And then last game for the GameCube, which I already posted for a good couple of days about this on Instagram, but I finally got my Holy Grail game, and that is Cubivore. It is complete in box.
That's so stupid.
It is not stupid.
So stupid.
It's amazing. I regret nothing. That's all I have to say. So the first one, it's a limited run game, and of course, you know, if you don't jump on those right away, you're going to be paying a slight arm and a leg to get them later on. But I bought Grease for the PS4. This is the limited run variant. I know there was another variant, I can't remember which. I think it was Special Reserve, possibly.
Probably.
But the seller included the trading card and the pack of lithograms with it. I think I paid a little bit more than what it went for originally on retail. There was no way I was going to spend the money on the Switch version. I figured just to be able to play it, I'm fine with that.
Next up is actually a recent release, and that is Trials of Mana. Really looking forward to playing this one. We have a actual Super Nintendo Free Pro card of it. But
And figured might as well get it for the PS4 because that is the version we have the Secret of Mana remake for.
and trophies.
And trophies. Yes. Next, simply it's Dishonored. Which was this? Death of the Outsider. It's the third game in the series. And I think it's just the side shoot game, but figured since I was going for the games in the series, I might as well pick up that one.
So next up is Doom Eternal. Haven't played this yet. I've heard a lot of good things about it. We actually picked this one up as a Best Buy pre-order, in which case they couldn't mail me the game. We had to pick it up in person, which is weird. But they mailed a steelbook. I have no idea why. But they also put it in a bubble envelope, and it's got some damage on it, which is kind of a bummer. But
Just a little bit.
yeah, it was a free steelbook, so can't say much about that.
Go ahead.
So these next two are actually the same game.
We got a bike.
We got a bike. So what happened with this is I originally pre-ordered the deluxe edition for
Ooh,
Final Fantasy
way off.
VII remake, and about 2 weeks or so before the game was to be released, Square Enix had more pre-orders for the first class edition up. So I pre-ordered the first class edition, but they said they couldn't guarantee release date with those ones. So I kept my pre-order for Best Buy. They both showed up on the same truck, stacked together at the exact same time. So we now have a sealed copy and an open copy of the game.
And a bike.
And a bike. Which is very heavy.
I'd say.
That thing has some weight to it.
This thing is
It's very impressive.
easily, I would say, what, a good 8-10 pounds? Somewhere
Probably.
in that ballpark.
It's got some weight to it.
The only thing that's a little irritating is I don't know if anybody else has figured out a good way to position Cloud, but we can't get him to sit with his butt on the seat and to actually lean forward to hold the handlebars.
It might we probably just have to work his joints a little bit.
Yeah. These was it Play Arts
These are Play Arts figures.
Are very stiff, like very, very stiff.
But here's the box. It's big box.
But it's definitely a lot better quality than the Final Fantasy 15
Which is over there.
Noctis.
He barely stands up.
Yeah.
I've also already pre-ordered the Aerith and Tifa figures. Kind of bummed they don't have a Sephiroth yet, but we'll see.
Give it time. I mean, they had one for Crisis Core Advent Children, so...
Yeah, which is expensive.
Yeah.
I haven't pre-ordered the Barrett one because I'm not really a big fan of Barrett as a character. So... I just find him boring. He's over the top and eccentric, but just boring to play as.
I feel like they made him... Like, I know he was eccentric in the old games, but I feel like they made him very eccentric in this one. Not that it's necessarily a bad thing, but...
Do you want to do this now, or do you want to go to these?
Might as well do those and the... Because we still have the books, too.
The books.
And the controllers.
What's these?
Yeah, we'll do this first. So, this pickup, we also have a lot of different controllers, accessories. Hi. So as you see, from Retro Fighters, I just went ahead and ordered the Pokeball charger stand. I'm a little sad. I got this one because it was a little on the cheaper side and I was already placing an order. And then Amazon dropped the Hori one down a little bit more. But I also like this one a little bit more because you don't have an actual extra attachment you have to put on the Pokeball. That one just literally plugs in, sits down. And then also here, you can hold that up because I have it right here. Next, I also finally got myself a Pro Controller. And when I went to go buy it, I was just going to get a regular Pro Controller. But this was around the time when everybody and their mom decided, hey, I need to get a Nintendo Switch. So these were far and few between, and I had a gift card from work and just went ahead and got the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Special Edition controller. I did pay probably a little more than I would have liked, but with a gift card I felt a little bit better about it.
So these next ones are from Retro Fighter. They are the Brawler 64 controllers. Funny story behind these. You want to tell?
Yeah, so I placed my order and I wasn't sure which color combination I wanted to get. At first I was going to get the green and the black. And then I decided I wanted to get the red and the black. So I went ahead, emailed the customer service and was like, hey, is there any way I can switch my green controller for a red controller? Within 2 minutes, they were like, oh yeah, no problem, we'll send it to the warehouse. Got my package in 2 days later, which mind you, their customer service is just absolutely amazing. Quickest customer service I've ever had. But I got it in, and unfortunately I had the black and the green. I wasn't gonna complain, I was just happy to have two of the Brawler controllers. Not even a day.
It was like 2 days later.
2 days later, the red one came in. So I went ahead and emailed them. Was like, hey, is there any way you can send me a shipping label so I can mail you back the green one? Because I only paid for 2. And they're like, oh no, it's fine. Just keep the 3rd one. So I have 3 N64 controllers now.
Alright. These things.
And then on Instagram, everybody knows Corey Sally. He posts a crap ton of deals every single day, and is the reason why half the time my wallet cries, and how I was able to give him the heads up on the first class edition.
Yes.
But Best Buy is running a sale right now, and I think also Target, with the Labos for $20.
Yep.
Unfortunately, missed out on the $9 ones from Walmart. I was only able, I don't know if you can see them, get the robot ones. But now I was able to get the variety pack, the car set, and the VR set. Granted, I only bought 1.
The VR set.
I kind of wish I was able to get 2, but I at least have a copy for the collection. And honestly, I was thinking, since we have 2 copies of the robot one, that would be an interesting one to build and put together on stream.
I don't think either one of us could use that.
No, but it'd still be fun to put together.
Yeah.
Alright, so next we have books and one extra thing. I had managed to get another Legend of Dragoon figure. Granted, I'm not too partial to Shauna. I'd much rather them have a Maru figure. But
They didn't make one.
yeah, they didn't make one. So I have Shauna go with Rose now.
She's a terrible character.
She's useless.
Very useless.
She really is. I mean, she's supposed to be a healer, but even then...
Her and Miranda, useless.
Yes. Alright. So this is pretty much just now a stack of books. So with getting Pokemon Coliseum, had to get the strategy guide for it. That way I actually know the different gym leaders or opponents, what Pokemon they have. I also got Infinite Undiscovery because RPG. Gotta have maps. Same with Folklore.
Maps are useful.
And I try when I order guides, except for well, we'll show this one first. So this one is Oracle of Ages, and then if you flip it, it is actually Oracle of Seasons.
It's really cool.
So I try to get strategy guides for easily under $10. I like the $5 range if I can, and I usually do that through Amazon used section, because there is a lot of like Goodwills and other thrift stores.
Really good deals.
Yes, that will sell stuff online. That's where we got our Chrono Trigger. I don't think we told the story about that. That'd be good.
So.
Good story video. But the last bundle of strategy guides, in which I have the rest of them coming in, so I will actually have all of the collector's edition guides. But these are the collector's edition guides for the Legend of Zelda games. Like I just said, I've got the other 3 coming in the mail, but this one is the one for Skyward Sword, Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks. Last video I showed that I'd had Twilight Princess HD. This is the one for the regular Twilight Princess. This is probably the biggest one out of all of them. And then the last one, if you try to look it up on Amazon, the cheapest prices they have is $900 to $1,000. This is the only one that I've come across in my search for these collector's editions guides. And it is the Ocarina of Time HD guide. Like, nobody is selling this one. I don't know why. It was part of the big $250 bundle set, which all of these books aren't part of that set. I think it was only 6 of them are part of that set. And then they published a couple extra ones, but...
And now we get into collector's editions.
Finally. Almost done here, guys. So, the first one is Persona 5 Royal. I mean, there was no questions asked. I had to get the collector's edition of this game. I missed out on the first one because I don't think we had a PS4 when the first one came out.
Mm-mm.
But it's got a really awesome looking mask in it. What else? Has art book, really nice box, and soundtrack. Which soundtrack isn't very long. It's like maybe 6 songs or so long.
Next up is from our local game store, if I remember correctly. This is the collector's edition for Darksiders 2 on the 360. The box is a little beat up, but we mainly got it for the mask.
Yeah, it doesn't even have the game in it. It was sold to us just mask and art book. So. And then last video, I know I showed Dishonored 2, but the collector's edition for Dishonored 2 was on sale on Amazon, and it has the mask, so I'm not gonna pass up this mask for $50 when typically it's not that cheap. So eventually I'll probably have it displayed right over here on the wall because it is a hanging display. They do say that it can fit if you have a smaller framed face and head, you can wear it. But I'm sorry, I got big head, you got big head. That ain't going on either of our faces.
No.
So
So this next collector's edition has been sitting at our local GameStop since we've known about our local game shop. I was always worried about asking about it because it can go for pretty high sometimes. But recently asked about it, and when I asked about it, I was told that somebody had already claimed it and they were just waiting to come pick it up. Like 3 weeks, 4 weeks went through.
4 separate times that we went in,
yeah.
And it was still there.
And it was still there, and we asked about it again, and then the guy was like, "Oh, he's had his chance to come get it, so if you want it, we'll sell it to you." And
also, this is right around the time where everything started happening, so they were like, you know, we're not necessarily in a position right now to be sitting on high dollar expensive things.
Yes. And this is which one? This is Rise of the Tomb Raider Collection Edition for the Xbox One. This is a massive box. It's hard to hold.
And it's actually cool. We'll do the B-roll of it. But the inside box, like that's just one of those like little slip casing style outer covers.
The inside box looks like a crate.
Yes.
Like an old shipping crate. It's really cool. So the statue looks amazing. It's actually sitting over here, which it'll probably be in the B-roll.
Have to eventually, once we get all the rest of this set up, we'll do a small office tour. Just show you like where we film and where we have a lot of stuff set up at in here.
I almost forgot the Final Fantasy VII Collector's Edition came with the little lanyard also, which is pretty cool. It was just sitting there staring at me.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know where to put it. I didn't want to shove it back in that box. And I knew it wouldn't fit in that box.
No.
And you can't... The boxes. You can't shove it in the boxes. But anyways, I'm pretty sure that is everything.
Everything game related.
I don't think we're missing anything else. I know you wanted to talk about your Gundams, but we can do a separate video about that.
Yeah.
We have lots of Gundams, Zoid models, frame arms, all that kind of fun stuff. But that's pretty much it. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Same Try Hard Enthusiast, just like on YouTube. And eventually we will start streaming on Twitch. When we do start doing that, I definitely will post Instagram stories letting everybody know times, dates, all that fun stuff.
Probably fairly soon. We're slowly getting all the equipment we need to be able to do that.
Yeah, just about set up.
Or at least start doing gameplay videos for YouTube probably before we start streaming.
Yeah. But other than that, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and all that fun YouTube stuff. And we'll see you guys around.
See ya.
Bye.